I'm sorry, Master. You're wrong. I am not worthy. I'm not who you think I am.
We all have something that we don't like about ourselves. Maybe you don't like the sound of your voice, or perhaps you're unhappy with your body. Unless you're a literal narcissist, we all have things about ourselves that we'd like to improve or wish were better. Don't worry though. You can fix your perception of yourself, and there's no better example than Sokka of the Southern Water Tribe.
You're not old enough to go to war, Sokka. You know that.
I'm strong, I'm brave, I can fight!
For most of his life, Sokka has been plagued by insecurity. As a young child, Sokka was put in charge of protecting his village as the only male above the age of 5. After the raid on his village, resulting in the loss of his mother, Sokka became dead set on doing his part in the war against the Fire Nation, but because of his age and inexperience in battle, his father forced him to stay to watch over everybody. For a long time, Sokka felt as if he wasn't good enough, not enough of a man, to fight with the others. So to compensate, he took his task of defending the village as seriously as he could, at times excessively. Later, after being attacked and captured by the Kyoshi warriors, Sokka couldn't handle the fact that he was defeated by a group of girls and resorted to snarky remarks in an attempt to protect his masculinity. That sexism stemmed from both the culture he grew up in, but also a lack of confidence in himself. Again, this made him feel inferior, not good enough. Upon arriving at the Northern Water Tribe, Sokka fell in love with Princess Yue, and she felt the same. However, the two could not be together, as Yue was already engaged to Han, resulting in Sokka becoming incredibly jealous. This jealousy was partly rooted in rivalry, but mostly the fact that Sokka felt as if he wasn't good enough for her, even though it was completely out of anyone's control. His relationship with Yue and her transcendence into the spirit world weighed quite heavily on him for a while, believing that he couldn't protect her, which he confesses to Suki at the Serpent's Pass. During Team Avatar's time in the Fire Nation, Sokka is down on himself for being the only one of the group who cannot bend an element and feels useless to the group, despite his numerous contributions. All of these things eat away at Sokka's self-perception, causing him to see himself as lesser and feels the need to compensate, but he is able to hide these insecurities through a false bravado.
Your moment of truth isn't going to be in front of some map. It's going to be out there, on the battlefield.
You seem so confident about everything. How do you know we're gonna win?
Coming to terms with and accepting one's own flaws and insecurities is the path to true self-confidence, and while it does take a while, Sokka is able to achieve this level of self-awareness. Every time Sokka has failed or thinks that he has failed, he begins to doubt himself. The way he overcomes these inner struggles is to face them at the source. After not seeing his father for years and assuming he was secretly disappointed in him, Sokka faced his father and soon learned that his fears were all for nothing. After failing to protect Princess Yue, Sokka became super overprotective over his friends, and only once he confessed this insecurity to Suki was he able to truly let go of that aspect of himself. When he felt useless to the group, he took the initiative to better himself. Sokka needed to focus less on the uncertainty of what other people thought of him or what he thought of himself. He needed to take a look at himself and embrace his own flaws. He wanted to prove that he is a great warrior, so instead of trepidation, he acts with confidence. He wanted to protect his friends, but learned that they are capable of protecting themselves. He didn't fight against his insecurities, he fought with them because ultimately they made him into the person he had always wanted to be.
I'm really sorry, Sokka.
So we came all this way for nothing? I failed. Again.
If you want to learn to overcome your insecurities like Sokka, the first thing you need to do is isolate what it is you want to better about yourself. Once you have done that, determine if it is something you can actually control or influence, such as your body or your social skills. If so, think of what actions you can take to fix these problems. For example, if you want to improve your social skills, simply going out and talking to people can help tremendously. If it's your body, then go to the gym or work out at home to get what you desire. If it's something you cannot control, however, such as a genetic issue, this can still apply to you. If you cannot take actions to actively try and improve these things, then coming to peace with it is really the only action you can take. However, it is still effective even when you can control it. Whatever your insecurities are, controllable or not, coming to terms with them and yourself is the best thing you can do to keep them from taking over your life. Your next step is to accept that you are the way you are for a reason. We're all haunted by our own self-doubt, our failures, and our pasts, and controlling them is a matter of embracing them. 9 times out of 10, your brain is right, so you should trust it. Trust yourself. When your brain tells you that you aren't good enough, it's telling you through a series of chemical imbalances that there is something wrong and that you should fix it. It's evolution at play, so you should follow your instincts, just like Sokka. No matter what measures you take, your insecurities will always be there, but if you listen to yourself, they can't control you anymore.
All you guys can do this awesome bending stuff, like putting out forest fires and flying around and making other stuff fly around. I can't fly around, okay? I can't do anything.
Sometimes your mind is your own worst enemy. Not all of us can have our brains work with us, so it can be hard to tell yourself that you're worth something when all you've told yourself is that you're not. Sokka was able to use his life experiences as catalysts for improving the parts of himself that he didn't like. There will always be days where we aren't our best, where we feel like we can't do anything, where nothing can go right, but that's okay. Self-improvement is a long and hard road to travel, but once you get to where you want to be, it's refreshing to wake up and accept yourself for who you are.